EV Comply, simplifying your charge point installations.
Hello and happy Friday to you. It's the 19th of March and here is your latest EV roundup brought to you directly from EV Comply. So everybody's waiting for Apple to join the EV hype. Now, Apple's iPhone contract manufacturer Foxconn is considering an electric car factory in America. Foxconn's chairman, Young Luai, said the company could start building electric cars at an abandoned factory site in 2023, but they have indicated the company hasn't firmly committed to EV production just yet. Volkswagen earlier announced plans to make 28 million EVs and 70 distinct fully electric models by 2028. They've decided to change course to become a battery maker instead. Now, although the company will likely continue to source those cells for many years of production, it has laid out a 29 billion big picture plan of what comes next, and that is owning its own cell-making gigafactories, its own format and chemistries, and corresponding plans to get even more involved with charging and its potential. Now, there's no surprise Volkswagen are looking at heavily investing in EV. Their shares rose 11% on Wednesday in Frankfurt, valuing the automaker at more than 140 billion euros. Now, this is news for you to know. As more people than ever opt for electric vehicles, the government has announced changes to the plug-in car, van and truck grants. So as of yesterday, the government did announce that they will provide grants of up to $2,500 for electric vehicles on cars priced under 35 grand. Now, this will mean the funding will last longer and be available to more drivers, or at least that's the plan. So grants will no longer be available for higher priced vehicles, typically bought by drivers who you would presume can afford to switch without being subbed from taxpayers. Now, the number of electric car models priced under 35 grand has increased by almost 50%, and more than half of the models currently on the market will still be eligible for the grant, which is great news, including spacious family cars, which is where most of the lending seems to be. In other news, the Motor Fuel Group is to install 150 kilowatt and 350 kilowatt EV chargers at its forecourts by the end of 2030 in a new commitment to the electrification. Now, this is to be enabled by a £400 million investment, with the rollout of the chargers to all sustainable remaining locations to be fully completed by 2035. Excitingly, Zap-Map has appointed Richard Bourne as interim CEO as it looks to expand its senior leadership team. As well as Bourne, Zap-Map is appointing Alex Earle as commercial director. He will focus on driving continued growth of new revenues, drawing on his more than 20 years of experience in commercial roles, including work in the EV sector at Alfren and New Motion. Juliet Davenport, CEO and founder of Good Energy and chair of Zap-Map, said Bourne and Earle were joining at a crucial inflection point for the decarbonisation of transport. Nearly 16,900 charge points have been installed for companies signed up to the climate group EV100 initiative. This is an increase of 79%, with an 84% increase on last year in the number of locations with chargers installed also recorded, rising to 2,100, which is great. Now, the EV100 initiative sees companies agree to electrify their fleets by 2030 in the UK. Companies such as Centrica and SSE have signed up to the initiative. British Gas has become the latest supplier to join Western Power Distribution's vehicle-to-grid trial, Electric Nation. This trial is designed to demonstrate how EVs can provide storage capacity to then provide flexibility to the grid. WPD is using the CrowdCharge platform to allow participants to set charging parameters and receive incentives for the flexibility they provide. Electric Nation will provide a realistic simulation by using 4 different energy partners and participants across the Midlands, South West and South Wales. British Gas is the last to be appointed, with Flextricity followed by Green Energy and Igloo Energy. More government announcements. They are launching a new consultation on EV charging, focusing on improving the consumer experience through 4 key areas. The government is proposing it will intervene with span-quick payment process, network reliability, pricing transparency and open data. The government has outlined how consumers should be able to access a range of software solutions providing them with comprehensive and accurate charge point data that enables them to locate and access charge points with ease. Now, speaking of accessing charge points with ease, Kia has launched KiaCharge, giving owners of Kia battery electric vehicles and plug-in hybrid vehicles access to over 13,900 chargers across the UK from a single account, which is great news. This is equivalent to around 68% of public chargers at the moment, the company has said. Charging networks signed up to the roaming service include BP Pulse, Pod Points, Ionity, Source London, ChargePoint, New Motion, Chargy and ESB. All of these available charge points are great, but of course the emphasis does seem to remain on renewable energy, and Bulb has launched a new EV plan that offers 100% renewable electric and cheaper charging at night as key features. It plans to allow EV drivers to charge their car at a cheaper rate of 4p per kilowatt between 2am and 6am, with the rising to around 20p outside of these hours. Also able to schedule and track the cost of charging with visibility of the life status of their car, including battery level, range and charging status. These features are available through Bulb's app. In other news, GRIDSERVE has taken a 25% stake in Ecotricity's electric highway network of EV chargers, with plans to replace the current infrastructure. All existing electric highway chargers are to be replaced by GRIDSERVE, offering all three connection types of CCS, CHAdeMO and AC, and doubling the capacity, according to the company. Contactless payment will also be available on all of the new chargers, with this work already underway. Secondly, 6 to 12 350 kilowatt chargers will also be installed. And finally, Centrica is launching a fleet charging management system which acts as a virtual fuel card, allowing drivers to plug into any standard EV charger. The app, which is targeted at fleet drivers, features payroll integration, meaning the driver is automatically reimbursed, while fleet managers receive monthly statements showing all charging transactions. It is also equipped with tariff optimization, enabling fleet drivers to optimally charge when the electricity rates are low. Centrica said this can be transformative to the business case of switching to EV. As ever, you are now up to date with all the latest EV news brought to you directly from EV Comply. Now remember, you can catch this podcast and all our previous podcasts on our website. That's ev-comply.com. And if you'd like to submit a story or any content, please do email us via our website. We would love to hear from you. From everybody here at EV Comply, have a top weekend.